And I was like, okay, well that was a fun little stint. I was very nervous, and I think I had met you up there. I ran into Chris, and I didn't know what anime was. I had watched Vampire Hunter D, and that was it. So I didn't know that I was hobnobbing with Vegeta and all that cool stuff. I didn't know who these guys were. I thought like, wow, that guy's got a very deep, very white voice. Very nice. Very nice.
I'm gonna be better friends with you.
Yes. But then all of a sudden I was coming down to the wire, and I was at the crossroads. Do I keep teaching, or do I just jump into the acting thing? Well, we're in Texas, and it's not LA, it's not New York, so it's very difficult to maintain an acting career. Well, Suzuka came along. Caitlin Glass directed that, and it was a lead role. And so I was like, okay, well, if this is a sign, then I'm gonna go for it. We'll see what happens. Well, Suzuka led to Barry Watson's breakoff group, Illumitoon.
Yeah.
Sweet Illuminati.
Sorry, this is just as interesting for me as it is for you guys. I apologize.
Okay, so Barry Watson broke off, so you gotta help me with this. He broke off from Funimation.
Yeah, the producer, the guy who brought me in said, you want to do some voices for us? He broke off to make Illumitoon, which made like, what, 2 shows?
Beat the Vandal Buster.
3.
Okay, Beat the Vandal Buster.
BTX or something.
BTX, that's right. Bo or something
No,
like
they
that.
just licensed the DVD stuff. They didn't actually.
Oh, okay. And then AM Driver. Vale went over there, Kaysen went over there, everybody went over there to work because they were in this beautiful facility.
They had like a big party, and we felt fancy.
Yeah, we felt fancy. It was awesome. And so I worked over there for a little bit, and I was like, okay, all these roles are coming. Okay, I'm going to quit teaching, I'm going to do that full time. In hindsight, that probably wasn't the smartest thing to do, but it ended up working out. Okay. So I did Suzuka, and then I never left. I wouldn't leave. So they said, well, we can't technically kick him out. He does meet the Asian requirement for our grant money that we get each month. So we'll just put him in these shows, and I did these shows, and I got to know people better, and I met Vic very briefly when we were doing the whole Holic thing, the transition from Tsubasa Chronicles to Holic. At the time, we didn't know that Holic was going to we didn't know that Watanuki was going to have his own show. We just thought that it was a one-liner. It was because it was literally, Vic had to do something else, which took him away from the Watanuki role. And so I was there, and I sound like Vic a little bit, or he sounds like me, or whatever. And so they said, step in the booth, new guy, and try this Watanuki line. The line was yes. And I got behind the mic, and I go, yes. They go, okay, great, sounds good. And so I was like, that's it. Watanuki's never coming back. Awesome. Vic's going on to do Faye. Cool. Well, that wasn't the case. And so Holic came around again, and I stuck with that, and just the roles were going along. And then how I guess I found out about Okatron was Sabbath. I get a call from
We gotta back up though.
Yeah, because we're skipping. We don't even know how that started. That's the video game stuff.
Oh, okay. Yes. Back up and fill in.
Yeah.
So just back up just a tiny bit. I left Funimation around like 2004 or something, 2005, and I started my own company called Okatron 5000 because Funimation needed some help with directing video games, and I grew up in games, and my dad was a gamer, and I'm a gamer, and it just seemed to be the right decision. So Okatron started, and we're doing the Dragon Ball games, and we're doing other...
And he did all the Full Metal games.
Yeah, we've done the Full Metal games.
And he's got wood floors.
Yeah, and wood floors.
And a shaggy green carpet.
I've heard many a story of
The illustrious. It's an orbiting satellite.
And Justice League used to be
short toilet.
Yeah.
They got rid of Justice League though.
It was sort of a temporary building attached to the Justice League building when they were building the new wing of the Justice
they
League.
didn't make good on their rent, so
Exactly.
you took over.
Yeah.
You think Batman's rich?
So I started Okatron, and we started doing a bunch of stuff there, and then I'd heard really good things about this guy, Todd Haberkorn. All turned out to be incorrect, but...
Yeah, but see, I was already recorded too far in, and he couldn't get rid of me.
Yeah.
Once again, just like the Funimation, you can't get rid of me.
No, there's this guy named Todd Haberkorn, and we're like, we need to get our hands on this guy. So we brought Todd over to help direct and and act as the lead in, well, I guess you're about to start telling that story.
Well, it actually began in Glass Fleet.
Oh,
Yes, Glass
Way back in Glass Fleet days.
Way back in the Glass Fleet days.
Do you guys remember Glass Fleet? Did any of you see that show? Raise your hand if you see it.
There we go. Wait a minute, you guys produced it. Wait, no.
The Galaxy Railways, that's even less. I didn't even see that.
I only know that you did it, and Travis always goes, "Feel my wind," and every convention he goes to.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Oh, wow.
It was Glass Fleet.
See, I always, I tell you,
So Salty Ray was the first show that you did directed at Okochon?
right?
I
Did
think
you guys say
it's-
Salty Ray? No.
Yes.
Chirps. Okay.
Wait, but there is an important piece that we went from being a private company after Barry spun off to a publicly traded company and moved into a larger building at that point as well. We moved from the old facilities to the new facilities.
That was a little bit after Okochon got started, though. Right?
No, it's 2004.
Who is confused by this story? All right.
I'm just trying to piece it together too. This is fun. This is fun.
We're gonna put this all on paper on a blog somewhere in kind of a chronological order.
Yeah.
But basically, we all got started with random different acts of like occurrences. I mean, just random different things got us into this business. Before doing this, I spent a lot of time in radio. I went to school at University of North Texas. I got a radio, television, and film degree up until about the last semester when I got that job at Funimation. And you know, I did tell you guys, I admitted earlier that I was not making much money there, but it was hands down the best decision I have ever made in my entire life. Like, if I had decided to go with something else because they didn't pay enough money, I would not even be remotely here today. I don't even know what I would be doing. Like,
But he is an opera singer. He's leaving that out as well.
Oh yeah, he's an opera singer. He does anything that audio even touches. This man.
He can hear stuff only dogs can hear.
did you guys hear that? Did you hear the sarcasm?
But no, like I'll come in when I used to direct over there when we were still doing D-grade stuff. I would come in and he's doing stuff for Dallas Summer Musicals, Dallas Symphony Orchestra, all the video games, and I get to see all this cool stuff going on when they were doing Guitar Hero, Ghostbusters, and all that stuff. Just everything comes to Okochon. So when you're not in town for Funimation, you're going to Okochon, and he's done. Yeah, I mean that was another risky idea that worked out pretty well for you, I'd say.
Yeah.
So like Okochon again, they've got awesome wood floors.
And a shaggy green rug.
Would it help if we just kind of opened it up to some questions to maybe clarify some of these things? Oh yeah, sorry. I'm just so worried that everybody's so confused. Tell a good story, please.
Okay, alright. In the process, I'm going to lose all my credibility. So let me go on a limb and say I have absolutely no experience in theater or radio or anything. So to all of you who want to become voice actors, please don't follow my story. It's not a good idea. My acting experience comes more from the fact that I am a creator and I animate stuff, I come up with material, I create characters. And I was a general psychopath as a 5-year-old and like to imitate Jim Carrey and Robin Williams, I don't know. That's my experience. My interest in the subject came really, really early on in middle school, and funnily enough, you apologize, but you actually kind of do tie into this. Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z were my two gateway anime. I was into those in elementary and middle school. And Yu Yu Hakusho came out in, I think, either the end of, I know this is going to sound horrible because this is forever ago. I must have been like 5th or 6th grade when Yu Yu Hakusho came out, and for some reason, something about opening up horrible cans of worms. I thought that show was brilliantly executed, and I really think that Justin Cook put so much love and care into the acting of that series. And something about it like clicked with me, and at the time, do you guys remember a place called TV Tome when that existed? That was like the pre-Wikipedia, but it was just for TV shows and movies. I was starting to learn about voice actors through that. I would start to give a crap about credits at the end, and I would, oh, that guy, Tom Kenny was this guy in this show, and this show, and this show, and he's SpongeBob in this show, and etc. So I started getting that ingrained in my system, and now it's unhealthy. Like, I seriously know way too much. I'm a walking, talking, psychopathic database of voiceover crap.